Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this year's Business Idea Pitch Competition. My name is Carrie Kowalski, and I'm the project manager of iLabs, the university's Center for Innovation Research. We're eager to get started, but before we begin, I just wanted to share a few housekeeping notes. First, this event is being recorded. Second, if you are here as a viewer of the competition, please know that your audio and video are not on. Now in its 7th year, the UM-Dearborn Business Idea Pitch Competition provides an opportunity for students to showcase their problem-solving skills, their critical thinking skills, their creativity, and their ability to create unique and innovative solutions. Recognizing the value of an entrepreneurial mindset in all careers and industries, our goal for the competition is for students to be empathetic and create solutions or ideas for customers with a problem or a need. Each year, we encourage students to develop ideas that address the region's most pressing concerns. As such, this year, while not necessarily a requirement, students were challenged with creating ideas related to challenges associated with the global pandemic. I'm excited to hear their presentations tonight as they address these relevant issues. At this time, I am pleased to introduce the Dean of the College of Business, Raju Balakrishnan.
Thank you, Carrie, and good evening, everybody. Welcome, as Carrie said, to the annual pitch competition hosted by the College of Business through the Center for Innovation Research, commonly known as iLabs. Like everything else this year, we are having to do this also virtually. And it's going to be an interesting experience for everybody involved because you have to not only manage the ideas and your presentation, but also be able to do this, shall we say, remotely, which adds an extra ounce of challenge to the whole process. I know Carrie is going to introduce the judges in more detail in a little while, but I wanted to kind of personally thank each of them for taking the time and effort to be here today to listen to all the pitches that are being made and provide feedback and judge which ones are the best. And I also want to thank them for the financial support that each one of them has provided so that we can reward the winners with some nominal cash prizes. This is a favorite event of mine for one simple reason. At the University of Michigan-Dearborn, and particularly in the College of Business, we are all about experiential learning. We want people to take what they learn in the classroom and apply it in practical settings. This event gives students the opportunity to really showcase what I consider as two very important characteristics, skill sets, whatever you want to call it, that they are going to hopefully develop during their educational experience. First is the ability, as Carrie mentioned, to think creatively, develop what I call your entrepreneurial spirit. Because it doesn't matter whether you are going to be a true entrepreneur and start your own company like one of the judges did, or whether you're going to be working for somebody or some company, you are going to be expected to be creative. And this old cliched statement, think outside the box. So this gives you an opportunity to do that. The second and equally important thing from my perspective is this is going to force you to present your idea in a coherent, almost make an elevator pitch, so to speak. In a sense, you're going to be selling your idea. One of the things I ask all students when I speak to them is, how many of you are going to be salespeople in your life? And maybe a couple of them will put their hands up. And then I always tell them, every one of you is going to be a salesperson in your life. You're constantly going to be selling something. And usually you're going to be selling the most valuable commodity, which is your own talent and skill. So this is going to, it's great that you have these ideas, but it's equally important on how you sell these ideas. So I'm so glad that you're going to have the opportunity to do that and receive immediate and timely feedback. Even though this competition was being done remotely today, it is fantastic to see the level of student engagement. Over 24 eligible ideas were presented, and I understand those have been vetted through an initial screening process, and 10 are being presented today. Not only did we have great student engagement, but many of our alums from the college and the university participated by serving as judges for the initial vetting, and of course, as judges now for the final pitch competition. So I want to close by wishing all the participants today the very best of luck. Go, I know it is scary, but go there and do the best job you can, and you'll be amazed at how well you end up doing. So good luck and go blue. Back to Carrie.
Thank you, Raju. I'd also like to take this time to recognize and introduce tonight's judges. I am proud to share, as Raju noted, that all of our judges tonight are U of M-Dearborn alumni. First, we have Don Dingwall. Don Dingwall, a Michigan native and Dallas resident, graduated from UM-Dearborn in 1975. He is an angel investor, a consultant, and a teacher. Don has experienced success in nearly a dozen different industries and is responsible for 3 startups. His philosophies include remaining optimistic and viewing life as a community event. You should appreciate and mold your community by getting involved. Next is Mariana Duggan. Mariana is a powertrain manufacturing engineer and has been honored as a Ford Motor Company 20 Women Behind the Blue Oval recipient and received the Ford Motor Company Go Further Award. She is also a 2020 UM-Dearborn Young Alumnus of the Year Award recipient. Mariana has been actively involved in supporting the community and students in several capacities, including establishing her own scholarship. She holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from UM-Dearborn. And finally, Stephen Spur, a former UM-Dearborn pitch competition winner and the president of K-Tech Engineering, as well as the founder of Coffee Keepers LLC. He has designed, managed, and released hundreds of products into the marketplace and has 5 issued patents. Stephen holds a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary engineering from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and an MBA from U of M-Dearborn. We would like to extend our thanks to the entire judge panel for their support today, not only spending the time listening to and evaluating the pitches, but for funding tonight's prizes as well. I'm so grateful and thank you for the generosity of our alumni panel. This year we have $7,000 in scholarships to award to the top pitches. So thank you so much for your support tonight. Tonight we will hear from 10 student teams listed in order on the slide. These top teams were selected from several worthy entries into the competition by a panel of reviewers with diverse educational and professional experience, as well as by votes from the public. If any of our voters or reviewers are in the audience tonight, thank you for supporting our students in this year's competition. And this is for you, teams. You will have just 5 minutes to pitch your idea, and I will be sharing time cards to let you know when you have 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds left. At the end of the 5 minutes, I will yell time, at which point you must stop your presentation. The judges will have a few minutes to ask you a couple of questions, but keep in mind you cannot go back to any of your slides to help you answer any of the questions. Following the questions from the judges, we will move on to the next pitch until all of the pitches are complete. Following all of the pitches, the judges will take some time to deliberate privately and select the winning pitches and how they wish to award the $7,000 in scholarships. Any questions? Okay, well, without further ado, I would like to welcome our first pitch, Say Freely.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I would like to present my first pitch, that is the product Save Freely. So we know that we are in a COVID era and almost at the beginning of the third wave, and we are seeing cases more than what we had experienced in April. So my idea is to the problem that I'm addressing is that we have been opening up the public spaces, and we have seen that opening up of public spaces has led to high risk of contracting the disease. Also, we see that although citizens can get the details about which areas are prone to high risk, but there is no one-stop solution for them to get an safety or a risk information. And thirdly, there are no handy alternatives, that even if there is a risk of a particular public place, then there are no handy alternatives which the citizens can access in case they do not want to move out of the house, or if they want to look for a safer alternative. So what is my solution? My solution gathers the data and the location of the users who are going to download the app, and is going to rank the places. So it would be ranking the places based on the business precautions. So if I'm visiting a departmental store, what business precautions are they taking? If I'm visiting a restaurant, what business precautions are they taking? They are going to access the real-time location details of the user to get the crowd density. Also, they are going to see the county cases and what have been the historic peak hours in those departmental stores or those public places. And as and when we build our user community based on the user feedback about the safety, we would be getting the details about how the place has been taking all the precautions. The second solution is it's going to be scanning the safer alternative. If one alternative is going to be more risky, it's going to give the user an option to select from other safer alternatives in the nearby location. And also, if the user decides that they do not want to move out of the house, then they have an option to pre-book or get certain home delivery services or get services while sitting at home. So how would all this work? So there are two parts to it. There's a demand side and there's a supply side. So the supply side is going to be coming from what business precautions are being taken. So are there any special hours? Are there any pre-booking, or is there any cleaning and disinfection? Or are there any compliance that the user has to maintain? Second is it's going to be a real-time crowd density data that it's going to be collected. So this is going to primarily use the GPS from the users. And then the third thing that we are going to take into account while making a risk score is going to be the county cases. And the fourth thing is going to be the historic peak hours. So based on that, we would have all these rated into a weighted rank. We'll take all this information and give a weighted rank. And from the demand side, we'll know that a user has an ability to select the place that they want to visit. They would know the area that they want to visit and the day and the time. So when these two are going to merge, based on the weighted rank, we are going to come up with a risk score for a particular place. And what is the user going to see? So user is going to, suppose a user is willing to go to a restaurant. So user is going to select that I want to go to a restaurant on this date and this time. So based on our real-time users which are there in those in the nearby areas, we would get how much is the crowd density there, what precaution is the restaurant taking, and what has been the historic peak hours, and what has been the user feedback. Based on that, we will have some similar looking application wherein we'll say that, you know, your place is marked risky currently. There are certain safer alternatives which are highlighted in green. So we just give them an alternative. What do you want to do? So do you want to pre-book pre-book on an alternative day, or do you want us to order for you so that you don't miss your meal, or do you want to try an alternative location the same day with a dining experience, or do you want to search a new place? So if the user decides to, try a new cafe or try a new place which is safer, they would select that and we would pre-book for them. And as a notification to user, we'll give them all the information. Hi.
Thank you, Charmy. So now we will turn it over to the judges for questions. Any questions from the judges for Charmy?
I have a question.
Oh, I was trying to find the unmute.
I beat you.
This is an app, I take it. It will run on any of the phones. And will you be giving, this looks like it's real time. It's one of the things I want to find out. And then the second question I had is really, where do you get the data that you're using for your rankings? Is it from users or public data?
So it's going to be a mix of user and public data. The real-time data is going to come from the users who are going to be a part of this application. So we are going to use the location service, which is going to, we'll get a real-time location data, and as well as we are going to get certain public data and data from the business owners. So what precautions are they taking? And there is going to be a historic PCAR data. So it's going to be a mix of, what are the number of county cases as well as a real-time user location data. So based on that, there's going to be a weight assigned to each of these parameters, and highest rate is going to be obviously given to the location, which is the real-time data, and we'll come up with a risk matrix. And that is how a location or a place is going to be marked safe or, risky.
Okay, and then revenue for you. How do you generate the revenue?
Yeah, so one stream, so it's going to be from business owners as well as the users. So if users decide to, they want to pre-book the services, or they want home delivery, or they want somebody to pick up their mail and, just courier it. So that is one part of the revenue where we are going to charge the users. And from the business owners, we know that the business owners currently are in a dire need of customers. They have faced significant losses. So we would be onboarding the business owners where they would be able to market what business precautions are they taking. They would be an exclusive partner to this application, as well as from the business owners, if there are any pre-bookings, by the users to those business owners, we would be charging for that. Also, in return, the business owners are obviously going to get some market. And the users, if they are having, they go to a place and, they give a user feedback, they earn safety credits. So those safety credits are again going to be used by the users to book some service with the exclusive business partners. So that's how I would be trying to, keep the users and the business owners intact on this application.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay. Yeah.
Any competitors that you know of?
Yeah, so there are two actually. Google Maps has come up with a way to, so it's not a complete, I mean, it's a partial competitor, I would say. They have been using Google Maps to risk the places based on the number of cases. So once you open a map, you can access which places are risky and which are not, but they do not give you an alternative, or they do not give you a particular place, but a particular county or a particular region which is marked unsafe. And second is COVID wise, but it is more of a contact tracing app, wherein the users get a notification if they have come in contact with any COVID positive. So, they can self-quarantine. So these are the two apps that are working in the direction of trying to, manage the cases. But this is more about, people wanting to go out and yet be safe.
All right, thank you, Charmy, and thank you, judges. At this time, we are going to go ahead and welcome our second pitch, hybrid charging bike. And I do want to make a note for the student pitchers. We're having some technical difficulties, so I'm not able to show you the time card. So I will use the chat to let you know when you have 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds left, but I will still say time when your 5 minutes is up.
Just give me a quick moment. It's giving me technical difficulties as well. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Not yet.
How about now?
Yep, and your 5 minutes starts now.
Hey everyone, I'm Sam. This is Amanda, along with the rest of our group, Lane, Ahmed, and Hamza. We're part of Group 8 for Senior Design Project at University of Michigan, and together we developed this hybrid charging bike. So for the hybrid charging bike, there's two main aspects of it. We have the self-driving or pedal-assisted portion, along with the self-charging unit. So we developed this during Corona when we spend a lot of time outside and my phone kept dying and a bunch of other stuff. So I figured why not just combine the two to make a time saver. So by the flip of a switch, you turn on the self-charging aspect. So the motor goes into the power supply unit and it goes to a DC to AC converter. And in turn, it has AC wall outlet and two USB ports. The USB ports can charge a removable power supply along with like a smartphone or any other USB charging device. And the other one reroutes back into a battery. So when it reroutes back into the battery, it can help with the pedal assisted portion. As you could see, the pedal assisted portion is you flip on the switch and then the motor starts going. So when the motor is going, it's going to give more ease of access to the rider. So if you're doing a long ride, it'd be easier on you. For older people who have who have more fragile joint movements, it could really help with that, or just help fight with driver's fatigue. So we're gonna move on to Amanda, who's gonna help with the business aspect of it.
So for consumers, we went off the electric bike data, and for their data, they show that people within the age group of 45 to 65 years old, they focus on predominantly male people that they target, but we want to expand off that and be more exclusive to college graduates because they typically ride bikes to most of their classes and they tend to use electronic and charging devices. And we also want to target healthy and active individuals as well as environmentally conscious people. We believe this will solve problems such as commuting to work or to long distances, and we do want to shorten that. And we also believe it will help carry small cargo and children with less strain. And we also believe this will shorten the barrier to other individuals who have health issues such as asthma, back issues, or knee joints or other pains. And we do believe this has the potential for growth because in 2016, there was an estimated 250,000 electric bike units that were sold. And with COVID becoming more prevalent, we do believe people will want to go outside biking more and will become more active. And with a projected sale in 2020 and 2023 being around 130 million units, we do think that this is highly uninvested and will have a high growth rate. And so it will be highly profitable. Our competitors right now are current electric bike manufacturers, but they are not currently affordable in the US. And like we said, they're currently targeting male consumers. And a current local competitor that we have is Mogo in Detroit. They are more affordable, but do not use the pedal assistant performance and do not include the removable power bank that we have featured. There are also fitness and standalone bikes. Again, they are not affordable and they're also not portable as well. And they're only put in confined spaces and they typically cost more than what our hybrid bike is projected to be cost. And they're also traditional vehicles. Again, not as affordable and you do not get the fitness aspect. And You'll also have to pay fuel and incremental costs, and it's not good in high traffic areas or congested cities. So our cost analysis shows that the most expensive portions of the bike or of our hybrid charging bike will be the bike, the motor, and the gears. So the projected MSRP will be around $450 to $500. And if you look at the comparison of all the electric bike costs in the US, it will be on the significantly lower end, which will make it affordable for all consumers. So in terms of growth and development, we do want to incorporate a larger motor to improve on speed, universally mount this on any bike. And we do want to become a third-party vendor to e-bike companies in order to maintain the electric charging, and then become a rideshare program, and then expand technology to all-wheel operated machines. So we do want to thank you for listening. And do you have any questions?
All right, nice job. Thank you, team. I'll turn it over to the judges for any questions.
Have you given any thought while the bike is sitting for charging? I mean, there's a plug,
Yes.
obviously, but what if one's not available? A little solar charge of any kind?
Well, on the bike itself, we have actually a working prototype. The outlet portion, when we finished our 3D housing unit, you could actually remove that cord and then plug it into a wall outlet.
Well, I like the thought of your thought process for the market. You know, one of the first things I thought was a retrofit to existing bikes, and then of course the rentals. So if you can address those, that's pretty large market.
For one of the aspects, we're designing a housing unit, and we're planning on just having it, because certain bikes have certain design specifications. So if we could develop different types of mounting units, so you could just add it to a already existing bike. And I know the rideshare, Amanda and Lena worked on that more, so they can answer that for you.
Yeah, we did want to work on that with more congested areas such as cities, colleges. And so whatever areas would be more profitable in that sense.
Mariana or Stephen, any questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
I'm good too, thank you.
All right, well, nice job, team. Thank you so much. And next we will introduce our third pitch of the evening. Now, our third presentation tonight will come from Team Zippy.
Here, let's see, screen two. You guys see my screen?
Yep, and you can go ahead and get started. Your 5 minutes begins now.
All right. Hi, everyone. This is Alex. Today, I'm going to talk about my idea. It's a job searching app called Zippy. It's designed to solve job searching challenges during and post-COVID. And here's how. So first of all, problem one, research done by McKinsey & Company shows there's a low wage, part-time minority workers are more likely to be unemployed during COVID. We already know COVID has had a huge hit in the market in the past 6 to 8 months. And problem two, lots of the local businesses listing are not really relevant on job sites like LinkedIn or Indeed. Most of these job sites only features part-time positions for maybe country clubs and high-end restaurants. Problem three, a lot of these job searching sites interface are not particularly designed pretty well. So for some amateur or first-time user, they might be a little overwhelming. So who's my target market? My first target market is or high school student that has reached the legal working age and looking for first job experience. Target market 2 are college students. You already know college students are broke. They're always looking some way to make money outside or inside school. So that's going to be a great opportunity. Target market 3, I call them newbies in the city. These are the people that move around the country or they just landed in a new state and try to look for a job that covers their living expenses. Gain tractions. Study shows in the retail consumer product sector, restaurant, retail, supermarket, sporting goods, apparel, and fashion has the very high turnover rate of averaging 15%. So you might ask, what are these positions? There are retail salespersons, food service professionals, and hospitality professionals. Size and market. There are a total 27 million people work a part-time job in the US, and among all of them, 15 million of them are college students. Unfortunately, during COVID, 18 million of part-time workers were unemployed. So who are my competitors? BumbleBiz is a spin-off of a dating app, Bumble. Is designed for freelance entrepreneur and startups to network on this app. Its demographic doesn't really reach beyond younger and single audience that really looking for a romance. It's kind of unprofessional because at the end of the day, it is still a dating app. Second, we all know super professional LinkedIn. It always redirects applicants to their business website to apply to jobs. People might feel pressure to interact and having awkward conversation with people they don't know, or kind of pressure into posting inspirational articles on there. So what do I offer? What's the perfect middle ground? First, my app will feature a swiping cart interface, very similar to larger dating sites. Swipe left to apply, swipe right to skip. Second, two-way rating system for both business owner and applicants. Third, geofencing for proximity searching. Fourth, profile verification if you have previous employment or experience histories. And the last will be the interview scheduling calendar that will cut down the unnecessary conversations. So here's how do I make profit from this app will be I divide the membership tier into 3. Go-getter will be free of charge, hustler, and powerhouse. And other mainstream of income will be coming from business postings starting from 10 cents per post, ads, and promotion within the app. So let's talk about the future. In the future, other than part-time and service workforce, I also see gig economy as a huge opportunity. So flexible, temporary, and freelance job like coaching, tutoring, these would be a great opportunity. And the last step, I will also get into corporate partnership, maybe with manufacturer or franchising businesses. And that's all. Thank you very much.
And time. All right, I'll turn it over to the judges. Nice job, Alex. Any questions from the judges for Alex?
Alex, I thought you did a real good job of presenting it, stayed within the time. That's real important. Having kids that, sometimes are looking for those type of things, I think this might be a good app. I'm interested to think what you say it's going to be high school kids first. Is there a referral from one friend to another kind of thing that you might put in there? Because a lot of this is just word of mouth too, as well, right?
Yes, so I did list a little bit in my presentation here. So there's 3 tiers, right? For referral, for every referral, they'll get a 2-week free trial for this app. And it really goes for word of mouth, even starting from high school, college, or even friends and family.
So that would be one friend referring to another. Is that what you're
Right. Or
saying?
businesses could also refer to each other too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mariana or Stephen, any questions?
Yeah, more of just a comment. Going through the market and who the target market is, you went through a few options. I think this is a great application for people that are actually unemployed during COVID, or if their place of business was shut down. Because now they're in the marketplace right now, people that are making it and thriving through the pandemic are way behind. Whether it's suppliers that need raw materials, or whether they're places that need maybe low cost temporary labor to get out of the short-term predicament they're in. I think this would be perfect for those types of folks. And I would personally use this to try to find excess labor when we need it. And then, hey, it's kind of the agreement. Hey, it's a temporary thing. This gig economy, that's not going away. But there's, like you said, 18, I think that number's more like 20 plus million people that are out of work looking for something to do. So I think it's a good idea, and I would be a customer.
Thank you. Yeah, it's more designed for the recovery of COVID, because I know the past few months, a lot of people lost their jobs. So in the future, 2 or 3 years, it will be a great opportunity to launch this and have people start filling the position that have been taken out.
Mariana, do you have any questions for Alex?
I don't have any questions, but good job on this presentation. I mean, I feel like I've had trouble myself searching for jobs when I was still in school. So that would have been something that I've totally utilized myself. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alex. And now we are going to get set up with the fourth pitch of the night, Team Ergonomics Ecosystem.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And can you see my screen?
We can. Let's just make sure all of your teammates are here. Looks like we're waiting on one more. Oh, alrighty. Everyone is here, so you are welcome to get started now. Your 5 minutes will begin.
Great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Marcos Cavlin, and I'll be presenting today on behalf of the Ergonomics Ecosystem team with my colleague Kirthana Sabanta. So today, with this pandemic, all of our lives have kind of been turned upside down, and we'd like to address the relevant problem in our work and student life and provide a solution in what we think is the ergonomics ecosystem. So the first thing I want to do is tell everyone to maybe just take a moment to think about how you're sitting. Are you really close to the screen? Are you slouched over? Do you have good posture where you're sitting? And think about, throughout all your work days, how this affects over your body over many hours. So this is a reality for many people that are now working from home due to COVID. And even in this moment, we're all gathered online for the first time in this competition. So much of the world faces the same reality and have to deal with many of the problems we're about to describe. So the first problem I think we have is at home, we have a need for an ergonomic workspace that previously was there in the office. Second, there's higher demands on the work-life balance. And third, you're in prolonged periods in one area when working from home. And some of the effects of staying in those areas for a long time can be pretty negative. So studies do show that increased sitting time can drastically influence your mortality, and breaking up those prolonged sedentary times can be highly beneficial. A lot of the symptoms associated with sitting for a lot of time or being a lot of screen time is computer vision syndrome, increased stress, and ocular and musculoskeletal problems. So we know that working from home is only going to grow from the future, and roughly 74% of companies plan to permanently shift to more remote work post-COVID in some capacity. So what is our solution? Our solution is ergonomics ecosystem. We'd like to provide a smart workplace that is capable of telling its user whether they're in an ergonomic workspace and automatically tailoring that space to be more ergonomic to them.
So our product ergonomic ecosystem has a table, a chair, and a lamp, and with a mobile application that works in conjunction to give a user a better ergonomic experience. And in a table, height and angle can be adjusted with the motor, and it also has the wheels and the leg resting options. And table also has the lamp, which has a light sensors for the brightness adjustments. And it also has a chair with the embedded pressure sensors to evaluate the correct sitting posture of a user. And with this all integrating the multiple sensors, the system gives out an smart report of the user's ergonomics pattern. And then this is through a mobile application. And coming to discussing about the electronic unit of a product, here you can see a microcontroller, which is the core of a product, which is connected to all the sensors. And these sensors gives out information like a working pattern of a user, the sitting posture, the retina angle, where there's the angle and the monitor, those kind of stuffs. All the informations are transferred to the mobile application through Bluetooth, which accurately predicts ergonomics pattern of a user. Coming to the mobile application, here we see this information is taken from the electronic sensors, and then it is processed to get an ergonomic habit of a person. And this application gives a timely alerts for standing, stretching, and hydrating, those kind of stuffs. And then yeah, it goes with the Google Calendar, so it doesn't break your schedules. And it also suggests the correct sitting posture and develop a working pattern. So this can be installed in the Apple watches, some external devices, something like that. And coming to the target market, so the main target markets are students and professionals, as this COVID pandemic has changed the situation this way. And major competitors are the existing furniture retailers and the fitness apps. And coming to our market strategy and sales strategy, so as a startup, we plan to offer an electronic kit or a sensor and a mobile application that we turn our existing workstation or a furniture to become a smart ergonomics ecostation, which will have only a very low cost capital investment. So in that case, we can collaborate with the existing retail furnitures. So and then later, as we grow, we can expand our business to incorporate the sensor inbuilt furnitures. So here you can see in a table where Google Twitter is providing a compensation for employees, and these can be included in our targets, or we can collaborate with companies to solve them. From this, I just come to a conclusion that ergonomic ecosystem is need of this hour. And since people are going through a lot of ergonomics problems, and the biggest example of making a smart business is to satisfy the customers' problems. And such apps like Peloton and Amazon Ring does the same kind of process. And I think we are one such one. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
And time, you guys are doing a great job with timing. So nice job, team. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the judges for any questions. A reminder to the teams, please resist the urge to click back to your slides if they help answer your question. Make sure you're just answering the question as is.
I have a question for the team. So what would be included exactly in the package that you're offering? And then what would be approximate cost for it?
Yeah, so I think initially we'd try to offer as an initial product just the sensors that could attach to any existing workstation, along with the microcontroller that can connect to like a mobile app. And we figure that all the sensors combined with the microcontroller should be somewhere under $100. Prototyping that, usually the sensors aren't too expensive. So that would be the start. And then we'd mature into possibly partners with furniture systems to integrate all of those sensors into an existing workstation.
Thank you.
Stephen or Don, any questions?
Yeah, I guess I chime in here. A couple of critiques here. I certainly appreciate the passion. Certainly don't disagree. You started off with a problem statement being that there's a sedentary lifestyle being set in because of COVID-19, and then I feel like there was a small miscalculation on your solution. Your solution is, as Henry Ford would say, how to make a faster horse. the world is leaning towards, and you even made a reference to it, Peloton and these at home, the gyms aren't the safest place to be. You want to be more active. I thought for sure we'd see some sort of a stand-up desk treadmill type thing where people are getting more and more active. Instead, we just saw simply a faster horse instead of an automobile. So I think you missed the mark a little bit on what you're trying to solve. I think there's absolutely a market here. There are many competitors out here, like sensors that go on your spine to make sure you don't slouch, apps and smartwatches and wearables that tell you, hey, even the iPad will tell you to stop and go outside for a while, stuff like that. So I feel like, maybe missed the mark a little bit on a solution, but I certainly think there's opportunity here, and you're not wrong that there are people leading a sedentary life, gaining the COVID-15.
All right, and Don, do you have a question for the team?
Yeah, I was just looking at it. I didn't know how I would incorporate this into my lifestyle, because I definitely don't have a good chair, and I get up a lot, so I don't tend to sit. But yeah, I mean, the automatic adjustments is something that I would thought was kind of interesting. It seemed like there'd be a lot of money put into that, but people are investing, like the Shaq chair. Just he's got his name brand on one, so I think people are willing to put some money into it. But I didn't see where the mechanics were in getting that to work. I do have an adjustable desk, goes up and down, where you can stand or sit.
Yeah, I think eventually you'd include some motors to that'd be controlled by that microcontroller to be able to adjust the height of the desk as well as the chair.
All right. Well, nice job, team. Thank you, and thank you, judges, for the questions and the feedback. We are going to go ahead and switch to our next pitch, which is Team Get Out.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me
Go
good?
ahead and, yep, can hear you, can see you. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and start your 5 minutes now.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dominic Steele, my partner, Dimitri Kustarnikov, and we are pitching an application known as GetOuts, Event Coordination and Social Remedy for the Post-COVID World. The problems we see. Event coordination is difficult. Personally, being part of a student organization, both now and prior to the pandemic, it's always hard to get interest in events and people to know about your events. It's hard to find local things to do, obviously, both with flyers and posters and social media being the primary focus most of the time. We now see people aren't really going out, so they're not really seeing many of those. And it's hard to make sure you're advertising everywhere you need to. COVID-19 has stopped socializing as we knew it. We are very social creatures, and because of that, we're really missing out on a lot of going out and meeting and talking to people and interacting, really, that we used to get before. Our solution to that is GetOuts, which we solve with three steps. First, sign up quite simply with an email, password, and then verify your account to avoid any sort of bot or spam accounts that we see troubling our other competitors in this field. And then you can go to the map, you can create your event, you set the location, you name your event, and specify any timing for said event. And then you can receive messages by sending and receiving, answering any questions attendees may have about the meeting. And if you're receiving repeated questions on it, you can post public updates to change your event and let people know more. Timeline of development. Over the past 4 or so weeks, we've been working on this and trying to get a prototype out just to show the basic bones of the application, as well as reworking our original idea and concept for some of the feedback we've received of both like making it more accessible as well as making it safer, of course, as we continue on through this pandemic. As you can see with week 5, the next week, we will be working on both a review system in order to make sure that users are not having any sort of social faux pas. So you can report users and let others know if there's any sort of malicious intent with some events or how they participate, as well as making a COVID-19 safety compliance tag to let others know that your event is safe for public. We have a demonstration. So here we see Dimitri logs in. He adds his event. He sets his current location, which he set on the map previously. He names it a photo shoot. He sets the time of event as November 9th at 2 p.m. Create event. And it goes to the map. We scroll over. You can load in. You can see I've sent a message. Hey, I'm interested in this event. What should I wear? And that'll be basically how the event works. He set his event in Central Michigan, Central Detroit, and then others, such as like what you see on the screen, can message him regarding it and ask any questions or set up any ideas they also have. For future plans and scaling, of course, we'd like to purchase and maintain servers across the US, making it more accessible for those across the nation. We'd like to improve upon the UI and make menuing more fluent so it's easier to get around, as well as marketing this across varying social media platforms, as that's where we mostly see a lot of people advertising their events and trying to get the word out for interest in said events. Some concerns raised in our feedback include what business model do we plan on incorporating to monetize the service? And to answer that, we're looking into the free service. However, it will be data licensing as we gather information on users' interests and what sort of events they like to go to and where those events are going on locally. How does GetOut's plan to handle users and events with malicious intent? As we said before, we give in our users a non-exclusive revocable right to use the service, as well as we retain the right to moderate any sort of events or users that we believe to be having less than wholesome events, of course. Thank you for your time. That's our contact information.
All right, thank you, team. Nice job. I'll turn it over to the judges. Don, Mariana, Stephen, any questions for the students?
I do have a couple questions. So first one is, how is your platform any different than the event planning on Facebook or the other social media platforms that you mentioned? Why would people want to go to yours than their usual current way of doing things? And then the other question is, only users can see the events, or is that a public thing, like people can do, or do you have to create a user account to be able to see the events?
Oh yes, so you would
Wait, can
Oh,
let me answer probably. Well, so as the Facebook, like what differentiates us is the idea that anyone can create an event. It's more spontaneous. So as you can see, we had like I created an event called photo shoot. So it's basically just, oh, tomorrow I want to go take pictures of someone. So it's more spontaneous than Facebook Marketplace because it tends to be we looked into different competitors, and mostly it's sponsored events by big events by some established companies or some established like yoga companies or like practice like dance meetings and stuff like that. And ours is more like, hey, I'm here for at 2 p.m. Let's go and take a picture together, stuff like that. And then the second question was about, sorry, forgot the question.
Is only users can see events, or
Oh yeah,
it's open to public?
oh yeah, sorry. Well, so I mean, everyone can see it. It's just there's no point if you're not registered of seeing the event, because the verification process, like you'll probably want to message the organizer, like who posted the event, to let them know that you're coming. And so I guess everyone can see it, but it's more beneficial to be registered as a user.
Other questions? All right, nice job, team. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
And now we will move on to our next pitch, which is Team Mobile Drugstore.
Can you guys see and hear me?
We can.
Hi, I'm just gonna share my screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Great. Your 5 minutes will begin now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Roma, and my idea is mobile drugstore. So 60% of American shoppers are afraid to go to the store amid COVID-19 concerns. And 73% of surveyed shoppers are making fewer trips to the store each week. And of those surveyed, 47% of them are having to change their diet and lifestyle habits in order to accommodate to the fewer trips that they're having to make, again, due to COVID-19. My idea specifically is mobile drugstore. This idea is basically a drugstore on a truck that will regularly circle through neighborhoods, providing customers with the ease of shopping for basic necessities from their doorstep. So the logistics of this idea, specifically the products that this drugstore will carry. So this is, again, a mobile drugstore, so it's on a truck. And our aim is to carry all components that a regular drugstore would have. So necessities including household products, basic groceries, cosmetics, health and beauty, etc. Another major component of this is pharmacy services specifically. So the truck will be able to pick up prescriptions, take them back to the warehouse, fill them, and then bring back the medications at the next stop for the consumer. Customers will also have the ability to order items in advance in order to be able to have the truck bring it to them again at the next stop. So the schedule and routine specifically, the idea is to circle through each neighborhood very regularly, so 3 to 4 times a week, and then stop at houses that flag the truck through the app. So customers are able to do a thorough 5 to 6 minute shop, grab the items they need, and then also do a final drive through the neighborhood for anyone who maybe forgot to flag the truck through the app, or maybe is in need of something last minute and just remembered as they heard the bell of the truck circle through their neighborhood. So again, the accompanying mobile app will be a major component, allowing customers ease of access. So it'll show users inventory and schedule for the truck, and specifically allow users to order items that are not routinely present on the truck. Again, allowing users to flag the truck to stop at their home so that they can thoroughly shop. And also this accompanying mobile app will house the loyalty program for this specific truck. In regards to feasibility, there's 3 major components that I think are important to look at. So inventory management specifically. So stock up 3 times a day, go back to the warehouse and stock up 3 times a day while circulating through those neighborhoods. So the warehouse is specifically not open to customers. So all inventory will be allocated to the mobile truck only. And then the app is going to keep customers informed about the stock and all the details. Marketing specifically, one way to market this is the ease and spontaneity of the service. This is probably the most important method of marketing. So even with raised prices to cover gas and other expenses, customers will buy because items are literally at their doorstep. All they need to do is step out and grab what they need. The loyalty program is a trademark specifically, is one of the reasons why many people shop at drugstores. So I think that's something that's also important to note. Customizing stock. So observe what customers buy from each neighborhood in the trial weeks of this, and then base the stock on that specifically. And also customize brand availability based on statistics, including neighborhood wealth status and population dynamics to ensure that customers are able to get what they need. Targeted customers. So seniors and at-risk individuals specifically are our target customers because we want them to be limitedly exposed to the virus. This will allow them to have peace of mind. And again, these types of people might require urgent and consistent supplies, which they are able to get from their doorstep. Again, parents and stay-at-home workers, as well as essential workers, lead very busy lives. So maybe having this option where they're able to grab useful essentials is going to be beneficial to them as well. Of competitors. So we have delivery services like Instacart and Ship, but there's limitations. So there is a minimum purchase required, and there's limited slots, as we saw back in April. There's also delivery fees that a lot of people want to avoid. Again, with pickup services where you sort of order your items and then go to the store to pick up, you must drive to the store. There's a minimum purchase required again, and if an item is out of stock, you must wait to be able to maintain your minimum purchase and then be able to pick up next. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Any questions?
Thank you, Roma. Questions from our judges?
So what is the revenue floor that you think you need to meet for that? And you know, I mean, you compete with even some drone delivery. You know, I see where the interpersonal side of it would be helpful for some people, but they also may delay. You know, the Amazon guy just drops it off and rings the doorbell, so he doesn't have to talk to me. You know.
So specifically. So specifically, the idea of this is to be able to look at what's present within the truck and then shop based on that. So it's a lot of stepping away from that online shopping and having that experience of walking through a store, but bringing it to your doorstep in a more condensed manner. And I think that's really important for customers who want to physically look at products and be able to grab what they need instead of having to order something and then wait for it to come. I think that might be quite a useful aspect.
So I always look for an exit strategy. My first thought is that CVS and Walgreens, you know, would jump all over this. I don't know what plans they have. I know Walmart's got some plans. How do you see partnering with one of those larger suppliers so that you didn't have to have an inventory in a warehouse and build that infrastructure?
I think that might be a good idea, partnering with something that's already established, because then generating revenue is somewhat easier because these brands are already established and customers trust these companies specifically and populate them consistently. One of the things I considered when generating this idea specifically was that drugstores are small. And so in order to maintain that capacity for COVID-19, there's a lot of people having to wait outside the door in order to get in and then having to rush through the store and then get their products so that other people can come back in. So I think really having this mobile aspect where everything is outdoors specifically and there's less social contact and social distancing is being maintained would be quite important in a post-pandemic world.
Any other questions?
Yeah, first of all, you did a great job in your presentation. You communicated a large amount of material in a very short period of time. It was clear, concise. I get it. I'm with Don on the infrastructure and partnering with CVS and Walgreens. One question I have is who's going to drive the trucks?
So that is one of the things that we need to hire employers, truck drivers specifically, to drive these around neighborhoods. We want to make sure that we're targeting a few neighborhoods each day in a specific area. We might want to consider having warehouses in different cities so that trucks don't have to drive too long to get back to that warehouse and then grab what they need and then get back to those neighborhoods specifically. So we want to regularly target these neighborhoods. So we are going to need regular truck drivers.
Okay, I think it's a great idea. My kids love the ice cream truck. I think of the same thing in a COVID world. People love being outside. They want to go get their stuff and be done with it. The one thing I'd encourage you to think about to make this thing actually work is that the whole pharmacy side of it. You're releasing controlled substances out into the public, and normal truck drivers aren't certified to handle these things. That's why they keep the pharmacy in the back. There's usually pharmacists who have 6 years of school, and if you have 6 years of school, you're likely not going to be driving a truck. So that's one hurdle I think you're going to have to figure out for this thing to take off. But if you figure that out, whether it's a box or a device or a Bluetooth or some way to unlock it with your phone so that the guy can't get into it, you know, there could be something there.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an important consideration. Yeah, thank you.
Mariana, any questions?
No questions from me, but I really like the idea. Thank you for the presentation. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roma. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. I would like to welcome now our next team, Team Your Reality.
Hi, can you see my screen and hear me and see myself and Rachel?
Let's see. I can see you and I can see Rachel. So your 5 minutes begins now. Good luck.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Hamka.
And I am Rachel Miller.
Imagine being back in 5th grade. What was the highlight of your day? Lunch, recess, story time with friends?
Now picture yourself being in 5th grade again, but this time you can't hang out with your friends at recess, be line leader, or gather around a teacher for story time. Instead, day after day, you wake up, go to your laptop, and stare at a screen for hours on end, attending your class.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, students are now forced to stay at home and are expected to learn the same material, but in a completely new format.
Teachers no longer have the joy of seeing their students in person every day. They are often teaching to blank screens or are constantly reminding students to pay attention during an online class session. In an online or hybrid education model, it becomes increasingly difficult for teachers to effectively communicate with students and understand individual student needs.
Students have to overcome countless distractions in their home environment, like other family members, pets, and their mobile devices. For students and teachers alike, online schooling can be exhausting, and education has often resorted to becoming a set of deliverables to accommodate for all students.
We are here to recreate the distance learning experience by traveling into the developing world of virtual reality. Your Reality provides individual student kits containing standalone VR headsets and hand controllers that include easy-to-navigate learning modules tailored to specific K-12 curriculum.
Let's set the scene. A student is at home and ready to learn. They put on our VR headset, and suddenly everything around them transforms into a new virtual 3D environment. Using the hand controllers, they select the assigned lesson. Today's Spanish food names. In this lesson, students navigate around a virtual kitchen, selecting and noting the Spanish names and pronunciations of different foods. They can spend as much time here as needed. Once they are ready, they move on to the assessment, which is ordering food at a vendor in Spain. Throughout this, students are getting immediate feedback. All of their statistics, including time spent in the kitchen and accuracy when ordering from the vendor, is available to teachers via our online management system. Teachers now have the information to alter difficulty based on students' performance. They can decide if the student is ready to see more food in the kitchen, or if they need to redo the assignment, but this time with some more hints.
The market for this type of product and service is growing, and according to Education Week, it is expected that more than 15% of US schools will have some type of VR class kit by 2021. Some of our biggest competitors would be Class VR and VR Immersive Education that offer VR solutions to be used in the classroom. What sets us apart is that our product is uniquely designed for students to use independently at home.
Your Reality brings a dynamic and customizable angle to education. Teachers will be able to assign modules to each student through an online management system similar to Schoology. Students will only have access to assigned modules and not other applications. This removes the issue of students getting on tasks that we see today with devices like iPads or laptops. Additionally, once the VR is on, they cannot use other devices to get distracted or perform academic dishonesty.
With Your Reality, students are at the center of our design, with a focus on academics first. Our hand controllers and software interface are very user-friendly, and each module will be designed to keep students engaged and wanting to explore and learn more. So one question may be, what makes us qualified to even implement an idea like this? With my diverse background in business and design, and now pursuing a degree in computer science, I have the passion and know-how that will help us design and implement this business idea.
And I am an electrical engineering and engineering math major who has a passion for technology and education. Rachel and I, being students ourselves during this time, has helped us make this product human-centered and desirable.
With this, we know firsthand the struggle with technology that students and their families face every day. It is our goal to alleviate the stress of using our technology by providing IT and customer service support to our customers. Any interested school will have the opportunity to go to our website and choose the best plan for their educational needs, whether it is renting some of our devices or buying classroom sets. Our team will work alongside education professionals and build relationships with students to create the most viable solution that brings online and hybrid education to a new level.
So fasten your headsets and discover the endless educational possibilities. Let's not just make this solution a new reality, let's make it your reality. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great job, team. Judges, any questions?
Where do I start? First off, Maya, for electrical engineering, you're probably one of the more articulate ones I've ever run across. Usually you guys think differently than most people. And I've dealt with a lot. I have so many questions. One is, I don't know who's going to be developing these modules, the teachers individually, or you're going to have a framework for that. You probably want to write some of these down because I have like 6 and there's probably enough time and the rest of them. I think it's a great idea, but I think you're totally missing the market. You ought to work on business and training. For instance, my company has a product that we used to go out and train people. Now we don't. How the hell are we going to train these people? And, it's an issue. And I think there are hundreds of other companies out there like that. And they'd be easier to get into than a classroom, I think. So you might consider that as well. So your go-to-market is something, and then the cost of the equipment. That's all I have. I mean, you can't address all those, and probably more ideas. And the other judges may have some more pointed questions. I don't know, but I liked it.
Definitely valid concerns, and it's something that Rachel and I considered, and of course, just maybe didn't have enough time to say everything. And I'm going to let Rachel answer the question about basically who's making this, because she's our business gal. So, and I can maybe answer the second part with the cost as the electrical engineering background. But yeah.
Yeah, so our ideal setup when we first thought of the business was to partner with startups. So have software developers that are interested in creating new products like these learning modules. We could work with them. Obviously, that does come with a cost too. So there's a lot of logistics that we would still have to figure out. But our goal would be to create this as much software as we can without spending too much money to help these teachers. So creating software that hasn't been developed already that maybe is more tailored to their specific curriculum. And then we can outsource or use like open software if that is a necessity for a teacher.
May I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Can the other students in the class, one of the things you mentioned was the isolation, are the other students in the class visible to each other?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we have a couple different models here. So there's one that is the completely remote. And with that, there would be an application where students would be able to see inside of the classroom and see other students in like their virtual avatar. And then we also have the hybrid learning model where the students, they're going into the classroom half the time, and then they're with us half the time and with the Your Reality headset. So at that point, it would be isolated when they're at home and then with the other students. And I think, one thing is that a lot of people our age are really interested in making games, making that software, but it's really hard to get into that industry and make effective games. So this would be a way for them to practice making that software with the help of the educational professionals that are going to give us the right virtual manipulatives to use per subject, just to touch off Rachel's point before there. And then also as far as cost goes, I was also very worried about cost, but actually the outsourced headset that we were looking at, the Oculus Quest 2, is actually retails for $300 right now. So, and with that, that's a recreational product. That's not a product that we're using on a mass scale. And all of the parts actually, upon doing research that I looked at, are not parts that you don't see inside an everyday laptop or iPad. I think a lot of people think about orientation. How does the VR know where you are? Using a gyroscope, that's the same way your iPad, for example, knows how to use portrait orientation lock. And we can reuse a lot of those highly manufactured products to make the final VR headset.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just one. I'm with Don here, and I think the hardware and the software costs alone, the development to get that off the ground is going to be astronomical. You're either going to need a rich backer or some like bring the market. So my wife's a 5th grade school teacher, so this is near and dear, and I think you guys are spot on. I think there's absolutely a need for this, and it can be done in a virtual room where other kids interact with each other, where you can see them. Have you guys thought about bringing the market or bringing a customer base to one of these hardware software companies that go to the ones that you've just listed that already have the infrastructure and say, look, there's a customer base that you're not serving, and here's 16 schools in Southeast Michigan that would love to partner up, and we'll help you tailor that curriculum for them, because they're hardware and software guys, they're not teachers. You can help bridge that gap. Have you guys thought about kind of bridging that gap?
Yeah, that was actually one thing we discussed. We didn't think about partnering, I guess, with our competitors, but that would honestly maybe a very good solution. We thought more about Google and Microsoft. They're creating some VR headsets that can be easily used by students, maybe not specific for students, but they are being used and implemented in schools. So we did think about that, but I do think that would be a very good thing to look into, to partner with the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look at them as your competitors.
Yeah.
At one point in time, they might buy you 10 years, 5 years from now.
Exactly. Yep.
I am actually Stephen on this one, because I was sitting here watching your presentation and thinking, what is going to stop those already established companies from just manufacturing more equipment and doing the same thing? Because they're already established. If they manufacture more, the more it's going to be cheaper and selling it. So definitely looking into partnerships versus competitors on this one.
All right, wonderful job, team. Thank you so much. And now we will welcome our next team, Family Possible Project. Jandela, I can see your slides, but I cannot see or hear you. I can see you. There you go.
Can you see me? Okay. Hi, my name is Giangela Roquemore, and I am pitching the Family Possible Project. It is an initiative to unite families and underserved communities. All right. Let's see if I can move this. All right. So the goal is to eliminate barriers in underserved communities while creating stronger bonds within communities. So it's never been a time or a century like since the pandemic. So struggling with uncertainties in their families' access to healthcare, education, and finances. So there's a need for guidance on how to keep one's family safe and utilizing community resources. So what we do, we want to bring forth educational resources to young and evolving families. Our services that are included will be the mothering up mentoring and fathering mentoring. It is a 10-week program. And then we'll also have healthy relationship practice coachings and activities. We'll have family financial goal planning and affordable child enrichment sessions for children that are ages 2 to 4. So we really, what makes us different, we want to humanize family services and assist mothers and fathers and guardians make informed decisions as far as parenting, and provide support and resources to them. Our competitors are Southwest Solutions, and they specifically focus on adult counseling like job hunting integrated health and mental services, but we want to focus more on the family aspect and, coaching. Our targets are single parents, young parents, low income, active duty members, or anyone in a non-traditional family unit, and people who live in underserved communities. The reason why we want to serve is the growing number in co-parenting and single parenthood. So we needing more support, like emotional support, child rearing guidance, and open dialogues. Young mothers and fathers lacking community bonds, and both parents and the children will benefit. So the areas that we want to serve will be Brightmoor, Fitzgerald area in West Detroit, Highland Park, and Southeast Dearborn. And so how will we reach our community? We will be reaching the community through partnering with other organizations, recruiting volunteers, mother mentors, father mentors, partnering with social work organizations, and promoting at different schools. Our mentoring program will have one-on-one mentoring. Services will include healthy co-parenting provisions, practices, building child rearing skills, appropriate stress management, and everyday parent bonding, and strengthening financial responsibility. Our healthy relationship activities is a place, open place for dialogue, and it's a great place to socialize for families. And our affordable child enrichment service would include children who are aged 2 to 4 years old, and we'll have daily games and activities. We'll have reading time, and we'll be offering it 5 days a week. We'll have 2 sessions a day, so 8 a.m. to 12 and 1 to 5, and parents can sign up through our via our website or scheduling through our Google app. Marketing and social media, we'll be marketing through Facebook or Instagram, and we'll also utilize flyers and fundraising events. And how we plan to fund our program, we hopefully will get, we want to utilize 50% of it being funded by grants, fundraising, and kind of donations and membership fees in our child enrichment sessions. And thank you guys for listening to my idea. Any questions?
Wonderful job. And again, I really have to commend all of the teams for their timing. You guys are sticking in the 5 minutes. It's great. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to the judges for any questions.
So I understand that you've got some services coming on. Where are you going to find the individuals, or what exactly are you providing? A framework for getting together and a structure for that, or do you have the professionals behind the scenes? And
so we want to utilize volunteers, parents who live within the communities, and also people who do work in social services as well for the mentoring. So for our healthy building activities, we want to utilize volunteers, but for our mentoring, it'll be best for us to utilize people who already work in social services.
Any other questions?
One thing that no one ever spent any time on in any of the schools that I ever went through, even in my finance class, was personal finances. And, that extends all the way up to the government and their deficit spending. If you could educate anyone on anything, that would be a useful thing.
Angela, I got a question. Is this a for-profit business, or is this a nonprofit in your head?
It is a nonprofit. I'm sorry if I didn't say that.
Yeah, no worries. I, for one, love the idea. I think it's absolutely a desire. I think there's a market out there. I think, there's folks out there that would benefit greatly from this. I think you're going to have a hard time finding mentors and people that would want to give their time. I would love to I'd sign up for this. I'd love to be a mentor. We can go into my past, but I'd love to be able to give back to the community in this way, and hopefully you could find some other folks that could too. But you have to find people that you know, love, and trust that can give good, sound advice. And it could be basics, like Don said, just how to balance a checkbook and how do you
Right.
not spend money that you don't have, and the value of education and lifting others and all that. I think it's a great idea. I think there's something here. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Mariana, any questions?
I might have missed it, but I remember mentioning multiple locations. Are you going to have a physical building location where people can go and get those services?
So I'm kind of shifting between either trying to work something out between schools or finding multiple locations within those areas. So that's still being, worked out, but possibly just partnering with schools in the area. That way it'll be easier for parents to locate the services that we provide.
Thank you. Great job on the presentation.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful job. Thank you. Our next team that we will be welcoming is Team Home Help.
Hello.
Hello, we can see you and hear you.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Mhm.
It's here. Okay. Yeah, is it visible?
I can see your screen. Your 5 minutes will begin now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Samir Afiksha. I'm here to present my idea on, it's called Home Help. So basically it's, okay. If you're stuck at home due to COVID, if you need to fix something and you can't go out, Home here is here to help you. So basically it's a one-stop solution. It's a platform which provides expert solutions to common household problems. These are the list of services offered by Home Help. So pretty much anything which can be fixed at home, which requires expert assistance, can be solved using Home Help. So things like household repairs, which includes fixing anything in your bathroom, kitchen, fixing your furniture or electrical appliances. It also caters to outdoor repairs like something with your car or painting, your roofing. And it also offers professional services like cooking, help with cooking, tutoring, health and first aid, emergency services. So how the app works. So basically, the app has a comprehensive list of services which are cataloged. There are volunteers and experts who are available for help. So volunteers can be anyone, they can be students or helpers who are ready to help for free. And experts are professionals who are specialized in the kind of job, say for example, carpenters or doctors, anyone. Now users can log in and request a video call for any kind of service they want. So initially they'll be connected to volunteers who are ready to provide help for free. And if their issue is not solved, the app automatically connects the user to an expert who will assess the job, and then he will charge a fee based on the type of job he's going to assist the user with. Then if certain jobs, if they require parts or hardware, the expert will recommend it through the app. So user can directly click on the link and then buy it through the retailers. And if any in-person assistance is needed, that will also be provided by the experts for a fee. So these are the different payment plans. So basically the app is free for everyone to download. And there are a lot, once the database has, once the staffing has been done, so we'll have a lot of volunteers and experts. So volunteers would be ready to do the job for free. and experts would again like charge. If you require say more help, you can go with the monthly bundle package of $20, which provides you access to 5 expert helps, and the premium one priced at 50, which provides you 10 expert helps, but also no pop-up ads. So how the app will generate money? So it's basically through subscriptions. Uh, User can choose different plans. The hourly expert fees, again, a small fee from the hourly expert fee will be charged by the app. That will be again, that'll generate revenue. Ads from manufacturers, retailers, and different commercials. So this is for people who choose the the non-ad version or subscription, and commission for recommending the hardware. Yeah. So once the expert recommends a hardware, for every purchase made, there'll be a commission made. So what are the different competitors? So here I shortlisted 3 competitors, which are like which can be like, for example, the Angie's list. mm, the major demerit, what I observed was it requires time for quote request stage, where you have to quote a request and then wait for their, wait for them to get back to you. Whereas home help is it's the solution is provided instantaneously by connecting to an expert or volunteer. YouTube again has a lot of content, as we all know, but user needs to know the exact solution for the problem, and sometimes those problems cannot be found, like exact solution cannot be found on YouTube. Home help, again, it connects you to a specialized expert, so he knows what kind of solution is needed for that job. And home advisor is another platform which caters to just household repairs. But again, home help is home help covers a lot of different domains, ranging from like almost everything. So future areas of expansion. Initially, the app is planned to operate with volunteers and experts, and will generate fee through revenue and ad based.
Time.
It's okay. So
Nice job.
all right.
I will turn it over to the judges for questions.
Okay.
Your target market. There's going to be people out there, handymans, that are going to look up stuff, and other people that are be on the other end of it. Where do you see your market, and what's the availability of this service? Is it 24 hours a day? Because some people aren't going to be able to work on it until 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. So something like okay. So when it comes to the target market, it can be as I mentioned in the list previously, that we'll be offering services in certain domains, and later on we will expand to these areas. So pretty much anyone who needs help at home or anywhere else related to these domains would be our target market. And when it comes to the services, again, usually it will be offered, say during the daytime, 9 to 5. But if someone wants services at odd times, he can go. Will introduce another 24/7 premium subscription, so that there'll be experts available 24/7 to assist the user with whatever help they need.
Other questions?
So I kind of really like the idea because I've struggled myself to find contractors. I'm usually looking at Facebook Market, websites, businesses, different businesses. So I really appreciate having a place to go to find solutions for my problems. But I've also found that usually people never show up, or they would come and do a bad job, whatever. So are you going to be offering some rating for people to rate the people? And or not, or how would people tell others, like, I would recommend this person or not?
Yes, definitely. So every expert will have a rating, and you can choose which type of expert you would like to, whom would you like. You can choose the which expert based on the different rating. I'm sorry, based on the ratings, and also even the users will be given rating, because at times what happens is there might be some issues where some situations where the user is just trying to sort of exploit the app. So again, even the user will get a rating so that it'll not be biased. It'll be quite open. So, but yes, again, priority will be given to the users so that they can choose whichever experts they would like to have, hire.
Actually, if we have time, I have another question. How I feel like you actually are offering way too many services or different categories. Certain things in there that I see that concern me are legal advice or suicide helpline, stuff like that. How are you going to be protecting yourself from lawsuits and stuff like that for having people like, are they credible? How are you going to establish their credibility of the people, experts that you call them?
Okay, so once the experts like when we would hire the experts, again they would be hired based on their qualifications. So say someone, if it's a skilled labor, so he would be assessed whether he has adequate education in related to that. When it comes to legal advice, again professional lawyers would be hired for the service. Again, this future it comes under the future areas of expansion, where these services like career, because services like career counseling, mental health, or legal advice would require larger funds. So once the home help, once the app starts generating adequate profits, or adequate fundings from the investors, then in that situation we would like go ahead with expanding different services based on the type of service which we want to offer for that price. So again, these advanced services would depend primarily on additional funding. And
Any other
again,
questions?
yeah, they
I'm
would.
sorry.
Oh, sorry. And again, they would be hired based on their credibility.
Any other questions? All right, well, nice job.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we are coming up to our last, but certainly not least presentation, and this will be Team Inspire Lab.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. We had some problems earlier. Sorry, give me just 1 second.
All right, you can begin your 5 minutes.
Hey, thank you. Hello, my name is Maria Tarkovsky, and today I'm presenting an idea I'm very passionate about called Inspire Lab. I wrote a business plan for this idea when I was 16 years old, and I'm still working on it as we speak. So what I've noticed is that when I was in high school, I was part of robotics, and many students that I was working with had a lot of ideas that they could not pursue due to lack of resources and lack of money. So I would say, to improve the quality of life of high school students and the people around us with their inventions, I suggest Inspire Lab to educate and inspire people. So basically the consensus is there needs to be an opportunity presented to students to further their education while they're still in school, and that's where we come in. So our vision and mission is to inspire students to invent and create by giving them the resources and the space to do so. So our overview. So let's just say a high school student has an idea. She is very interested in renewable energy. She's done a lot of research. She's 15 and in high school. She goes to Inspire Lab for resources and support. She pays a fee for the kit she likes, and she is in a supervised lab area and gets to explore her idea. And the reason this is competitive is because after school robotics program exists, but programs for after school for other areas of STEM, such as engineering, chemistry, and electricity, to name a few STEM principles, are not available to students, especially students younger than college age. So Inspire Lab has partnerships with other manufacturing and STEM entities. We offer STEM opportunities, like I mentioned previously, for more than just robotics. So ideas to explore include renewable energy inventions, technological developments, chemistry experiments, and more. This lab will also bring in guest speakers, presenters. Masks and social distancing due to COVID will be maintained, along with sanitization of labs. and volunteers and employees will be supervising these students since they are under the age of 18. So there's also a contest that is included in this Inspire Lab. So I have actually an entire separate presentation for this, but due to time, I will give you an overview of it. So if a kid has an original invention or idea, they pay a fee to enter this contest. This can be covered by scholarship. They get a certain time frame to design and develop these ideas in the labs. The starter kits may not be used to assist their final prototype. However, they can partner with other companies and entities that the lab already partners with to obtain materials needed for their project. So these kits that we sell will be used as like prototype models, but they cannot be used for the final product. So going beyond, I also noticed when I was in robotics that a lot of kids learn better with hands-on experiences. So I was thinking we can incorporate STEM lab principles such as hands-on learning and experimenting and exploring your ideas into classrooms. We can incorporate like concepts and principles used to self-teach into our K-12 system. So versions of this could be also developed for middle school and elementary school students eventually. So that is my idea, and thank you very much.
All right, wonderful job. I will turn it over to the judges for questions.
I seem to be the one to ask first all the time, but I'm ready to go with a couple. I like the idea. Is this a physical presence or a virtual presence or both?
I would like this to be a physical presence, similar to how the university maintains social distancing and masks when you go to labs for classes. I would like a similar concept to be implemented for this idea. So in person.
And would that be at I mean, you're talking about some, facilities that maybe a university has, but not a lot of other places.
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm just curious about how what your thoughts are on that.
Okay, so due to financial aspects, we would first start in universities that already have fully equipped labs, and then we move towards building our own while still partnering with these universities. So we start small in a university lab and then expand.
Okay. I mean, we definitely need more exposure on this side of the world, shall we say. The STEM is really got to be pushed forward, I think. Anything we can do to help that out should be good.
Other questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Question. It's more like a comment. So usually students who are coming from areas that are less fortunate, let's just say, are usually the ones that don't end up with labs or more STEM activities in their schools. So you mentioned something about a fee for participation or a fee to enter a contest. So what kind of range? Because we're thinking here, maybe schools in areas that are maybe wealthier already have something like that, maybe not, but maybe their parents can afford to send them to your lab. But what about kids that are less fortunate, that their school area doesn't provide this stuff, and obviously their parents can't enroll them in these extracurricular activities? So what's your plan for
I'm
that?
a huge believer in equality of opportunity. So I mentioned in my presentation, I should have mentioned it more in detail, but any fee that cannot be covered by a student will be covered by a sponsor or the lab itself or one of their entities. This will not be gate kept from anyone regardless of their socioeconomic status. This is available to everyone, no matter what.
Thank you. Brilliant idea, and thank you for the presentation.
Maria, I'm going to chime in here. I think you're spot on with your assessment of the need. I'm going to agree with the fellow judges here that there is absolutely a need for more STEM in schools and beyond. However, I think there's an opportunity, and this will lead into a question of, have you thought about this? You started off with these ideas of kits, these $60 to $70 kits. My daughters, I get these kits for my daughters who are 6 and 9. I've got other older daughters, but the 6 and 9-year-olds get these kits and they love them. And I wish there were more. I would pay more to get them those kits in their hands to be able to create them. If you have this passion, you have this desire, and you know what these kits could be, and you went through a whole list of everything from chemistry to the physics to electronics to, I mean, you got it all down. Have you thought of making just the kits and then selling the kits as a starter, just to gain some traction, to gain some revenue, to prove that there is a market out there that you can sell these kits? That'll do a few things. One, it'll prove your worth in the market, number one. Number two, you can sell them on Amazon. You can sell them to schools. You can get folks to subsidize them once it moves on. You know, you're talking about these sponsors. Well, it's going to be tough to scale a physical presence where you're going to have a location or you have to go somewhere. But if you're selling a kit, you can get them manufactured relatively inexpensively because you're just putting the pieces together. You can package them, get some sweet marketing, and start gaining some traction that way. Have you thought about just sticking with the kits first and then expand, or how do you feel about that?
Yes, when I first wrote my business plan, the whole premise of the business plan was surrounded by these kits. The whole contest in the lab came after. So in my original business plan, there is a whole market for just these kits and the revenue that can be profited off of just these kits. To answer your question, yes.
I think less is more in this case. Don't get too aggressive, and if you stick with a proven solution, just because developing these kits and making these kits is going to be a significant task. It's not to be underestimated, but it's doable. It's absolutely doable. You can get the pieces and components manufactured around the world, get them delivered, put them in a pack, and make your margins and start selling them, start distributing them, and get more STEM out into the hands of kids who so desperately need it, especially now in a pandemic where people might not want to show up somewhere. I thought it was good. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Any final questions? All right, nice job, Maria. So this will conclude tonight's presentations. Great job to all the teams on their pitches tonight. So now what we are going to move into is the judge deliberations. So Don, Stephen, and Mariana, Sarah is going to put a link into the chat box momentarily. I'm sorry, one second. Oh, it's a chat. She's going to put a link into the chat box for you to join a separate meeting with Eva so that you can deliberate in private. She'll be there to give you further instructions and answer any questions you have. So we will see you back here soon. And for everyone else that is here, students and viewers, I would like you to take this time to maybe get some water, stretch your legs, go let your dog out, so that we can give the judges some time to deliberate. We ask that you join us back here at 7:05 for the announcement of the winner. So 5 after 7 is a really important time for the students. Again, we need one person present from each team for the award ceremony in order for you to claim a prize should you win. So thank you, everybody. I will see you back here shortly. Hi, everyone. The judges are still deliberating. Lots of great ideas to choose from, so hang tight. We should be back to announce the winners in just a couple of moments. So thank you for your patience. Please stay with us, everyone. Judges are still deliberating. Such a tough choice, but they should be back here soon. So hang tight. The suspense is killing me. I know you all are probably anxious too. We're just a few minutes away from having the final decision, so please continue to hang tight. Again, I appreciate your patience. I promise we are getting close with decisions. Hang tight, we will be back with you shortly. All righty, welcome back everybody. And thank you so much for your patience and sticking around with us. So many good ideas submitted, so the judges had a really tough time coming to their conclusion, but they did. So before announcing the winners, I know you're all anxiously awaiting the announcement. I first of all just want to commend all of the students who participated in the competition this year. You should be so proud of yourselves and all of the work that you put into your ideas and your presentations. And I truly hope that you take what you learned from this experience and apply it to your classes and any of your future endeavors. So great job to all of you. Without further ado, what you've all been anxiously waiting for, the judges have concluded their deliberations, and I'm excited to share that tonight we have 4 winning teams. And these 4 teams will each receive a portion of the $7,000 award available. So I'm going to start with the idea that the judges felt was a great idea and a definite need for. This idea really touched the judges, and this idea will be winning $750. If you are comfortable turning your video and or sound on when I announce your idea name, please do. So the winner of $750 goes to Team Family Possible. All right. The next idea that the judges believed was a great idea, that there is certainly a need for this idea and a good business model. The winner of $1,000 will go to Team Mobile Drugstore. Congratulations. The next idea that the judges felt was timely and a real commercial application for employees and employers. A winner of $1,750 is Team Zippy. Congratulations, Team Zippy. And finally, the idea that the judges felt was the most viable and marketable has a great target audience of parents, and this idea really spoke to all three of the judges. The idea that will win the largest prize tonight of $3,500 goes to Team Inspire Lab. So congratulations to Team Inspire Lab. Again, I want to congratulate all teams, our winning team tonight, as well as all the students that participated in the event today. Great ideas, great presentations, great job sticking to the 5-minute time. A really great job overall. It was wonderful doing this competition despite all the different barriers and having to do it virtually. So I thank you all for your participation this year, and I appreciate everyone here that viewed tonight's competition and anybody that participated in the reviewing and voting process. So I want to turn it over to the judges just for a second. If any of our judges want to share any final words with the teams, now is the time. I'll turn it over to you.
I'd like to say that all the ideas were very good. I think you guys all presented them well, some better than others. The process for deciding was not easy, and you know we really deliberated about everyone in a short time frame and spent more time on others. But I think you all have the basis for very sound ideas and business plans. Some will need some help that you can work on over time. And you know, we were going to make ourselves available if you need to send emails and stuff. If you want some feedback, I'm more than happy to answer whatever questions you may have. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
I'd also like to chime in.
I'm sorry,
here.
go ahead.
Yeah, just I think everybody did a great job presenting. Sometimes those ideas and thoughts are tough to communicate, and I thought everybody did a very good job sticking within the time limit and conveying a mass amount of information. And I just encourage you, whether you won or whether you lost, take whatever you learned and heard today and use it to take that next step. There's a lot of potential out here that could be realized. Just don't give up.
Thank you, Stephen.
I would like to congratulate literally everyone today because you all did an amazing job. Obviously, also congratulations to the winners, but the people that didn't win today, don't have that stop you from pursuing your ideas, because we had every idea was amazing tonight, but we just had to pick some winners. Also take the questions asked by the judges as more pointers of how you can improve on your ideas and make them better and actually apply them in the future.
Thank you, Mariana. I see that the students are now visible and have their videos up and the opportunity to turn their mics on. Do any of you have any final words or anything that you would like to say to the judges or the audience before we conclude for the night?
I just want to say, it's okay, I can speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you guys for the opportunity. I'm really excited. It took a lot of brain power to accumulate this, and I really thank my teacher who kind of pushed me to pitch my idea, and also any volunteers I will take in the future.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Maria, I saw you raising your hand. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was actually, I'm on FaceTime with my sister because she wanted to listen in, and I can't like scream or cry or anything, but she's doing that for me. I just want to say thank you so much. I've been interested in being an entrepreneur my entire life, and this means literally the world to me. Thank you. I will take any criticism, absolutely any, constructive, whatever. Thank you again so much.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the judges for picking these winners out, and great competitors, and great ideas. And yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I just wanted to also say thank you. As an engineering student, I think this competition was really valuable to me. I'm always looking for opportunities to engage in business and entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to say thank you, and any ideas or criticisms, thoughts, I'm open to hearing and would love extra help in this endeavor.
All right, thank you, everybody. So I, on behalf of the university and the College of Business, would like to, again, extend our greatest thanks to the judges for making this event possible, both by giving us your time and effort in selecting the pitches and listening to all of the ideas, as well as providing the award for tonight's event to go to the students. So we really, really appreciate it. And I personally want to thank my colleagues, Eva and Sarah, for their help with this event. It would not have been possible without them. So thank you both. At this point, this will conclude tonight's event. I again want to say thank you to everybody, our judges, viewers, and students for making our very first virtual pitch competition a success. I see this as something that we can certainly do again in the future, and I hope that we do. So I hope to see you all again for the 2021 event. And that will be tonight's conclusion. So thank you all and have a wonderful evening.